All right, I'm here with, who are you?
I'm Mitchell, and I got second place at the Seattle, Washington OTS Championship playing K9 Crystron.
All right. What was the record at the end of the day?
X2. I went X1 going into Top Cut, and then I lost in the finals against Draco Tail.
Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
All right, let's get into it.
Main deck, 3 Noroi, have 2 these days, then Trokel, triple Izuna, 1 Lantern, 1 Lupus. For the Crystron package, you have your triple Sulfador, and then now only 1 yellow. Definitely moved away from 2, just given how everything has been, especially with the limit for inclusion. Then you have your 1 Smiger and your 1 Tristaros.
How does the Sylphefnir to 1 feel?
Sylphefnir to 1 makes things kind of awkward, but it works out fine. It's one of those things where if you end up drawing a bunch of Crystron cards, then it makes things feel really bad. You can run out of names for Tristaros, and then you're kind of forced into a situation where you need to cluster shuffle back. But at other times, it works out really good. If you open like more of an ideal hand, then you're in a really good position. You're not wasting too much resources or anything like that. So it's been good. It helps streamline things, but there's definitely times where if you get into a grind game, you can be put in a little bit of a worse spot.
Cool.
For the last 2 normal monsters, you have your Enabler and then Spell Canceller. Pretty much have to these days. If you get this out and you do like a hand peek with Noroi, then you can basically just read their whole hand and you can pivot towards this accordingly and then just shut down an entire hand. One of the Draco Tail players opened like 4 spells and a normal summon, and I was able to do full combo off of that. So I just turboed this out, put out Infinity, and passed. And so if they try to imperm or anything like that, then I can just negate that and then just play through the rest of the board since I have other items to work through. So pretty much have to play this. The deck struggles a lot with going second especially, and so being able to, playing into Fua, so just being able to get in situations where you're able just to lock out a game, not have to worry about anything, is just way too beneficial to not play. For just engine spells and such, 3 case, again, used to play like 1, now it's moved up just with the inclusion limit. 2 chaotic, never felt like I needed a 3rd or anything like that. Just one of those cases where you want to have some balance in what you're seeing, and then the 1 inclusion. Obviously, this card's crazy. I do wish it would go like to 2 or something. Having this at 1 kills a lot of lines in the pure Crystron side. So it would be really nice to see this back at 2, especially since the deck and K9 as a whole has kind of struggled compared to Yummy and Draco Tail these days. And then just 1 trap in terms of engine. This card's still insane. This just kind of does everything you need to. If you do get into a grind game and they don't out this, then that's pretty much it. You can slowly just nickel and dime your way through and take care of everything on their board. This allows you just to also keep everything in your Crystron engine live. A Skeleton's beatdown is a real thing. This plus Typhon is also crazy good, depending on what you're playing against, especially against Mitsu. This can clean up a lot of things. For non-engine, triple Fua, have to, and then you got your Ash, your Droll, double Bell, and your Droplet. Some people are doing like imperms instead of Droplet. It's something I might try. This card's still ridiculously good, but if they have like Herald up, then this is obviously much worse. Instead of Bell, a lot of people are doing Call By and Talents. This is something I leaned against. Having Bell as an extra way to maybe hit like a Draco Tail trap or kind of like a surprise hand trap into the Yummy matchup has been really, really good. It didn't come up too much. I just didn't see it. But it is one of those things where when I did see it, it definitely helped pivot towards my favorability in the actual match. I was able to kind of hit some things where like they only had 1 Yummy name and they had to use field spell to get back. And so with, having hand knowledge and stuff like that, so I was able just to get this and their turn and then just kill the next turn. Or just having those extra options with those Draco Tail traps between Ash and Bell. Extra deck, pretty standard now with the 1 card line being kind of figured out for Spell Canceller. So you have your Clockwork Knight, you have your Platinum Gadget, and then you have your Armor Dragon. This card's fun. This came up actually quite a few times, Getting to the spell lock is it just solves matches. Like my round 1 was against like DDD, and so just having that extra 5 and the extra bodies to go into this, and then you just pump out Princess and get to your spell canceller. In that case, it just shut down the entire game. No pendulums. They can't resolve any of their contracts. I mean, it just finishes it there. So this card's been really cool to kind of see the community find and how we can actually get spell canceller out with 1-card combo. And then of course your SP. Synchros, I play 2. A lot of people moved away from Dragster. Obviously this is Skeletus is mandatory, but Dragster is one of those items where I still would end up making it because I don't end on spell canceller. And so having this as an extra way to have some presence against what they're kind of putting out, or trying to cover yourself while you're trying to do other plays was really beneficial. You get to spell canceller just so late into the combo that if you do finish that board, then you are probably going to win the game. But if you have a half board or something like that, having this as an option is something that was really, really useful. Plus, if you end up here just to cover yourself for a trap, and then you use Tristaros on this on a later turn to get out 2 5s for Crystron, and then like go into your Infinity or your V-Mana or something like that, then this just really, it just acts as another body for you to do that, especially if you didn't get to this or having trouble recycling it. It just kind of keeps that side of the deck a little more alive. So that's just, it's something that came up, and when it did come up, it was really, really helpful in kind of keeping things at a reasonable level for me to actually make a comeback with. So that was really nice. Xyz, your standard Ripper, your River Stormer, and your Princess. This is your standard engine lines. Obviously for Armor you're getting back Spell Canceller. For your options that you would normally make off of Izuna, you have your Valon and your V-Mana. Some people are doing Jax or Durandal. Durandal is something I'm kind of considering. Jax is up in the air. Maybe if Spell Canceller gets banned, then I'll move to that. Just to get rid of Princess too, if I move away from that. But these cards were really, really good. This just being a monster negate is just super relevant for where the meta is at right now. A lot of decks are just super, super monster heavy. So this is basically always live. The hidden effect to gain attack came up a lot of times. A lot of people would forget about it. It would let me just kind of get a 1-up and get rid of one of their bodies. And then this is just really good. If they start Mao for Yummy, then you're able to kind of just force a check and see what's going on with their hand, see if they have another name, and kind of go from there. Plus the clear effect when this goes off the field just helps clear up back row occasionally. For last couple of Xyz, in terms of engine, obviously your Nova and your Infinity. Standard stuff, basically. You always kind of want to end on this. Just sucking up a body is also just super, super good. Very timeless in all reality. So very happy to get my Euro QCR for this. Then last two, Zeus. Making River Stormer attacking into something and then making Zeus is crazy good because then you have 2 uses of Zeus since River Stormer sucks up the attack monster. So super good. Very good to just be able to clear the board. It does its job beautifully. And then last card, Typhon. It really felt more and more like I kind of had to. At one point I had this as Jax, but it just wasn't doing enough for what I needed it to. Especially since I moved away from like the quick play and such. So this came up occasionally, but like I mentioned, like with Crystron Cluster, I mean, if you get to a board state where you're able to kind of hold this, maybe with the Lupus under it, and then kind of control the game with Cluster, it is actually a really strong board state if both boards are kind of broken apart. These two cards together are really good in all reality, especially if they have a hard time outing this. So it just allows for a bit more of a check state, especially when you don't have much going on. So that's all for the extra deck. Now we'll get to the side deck. I definitely side a little bit differently than a lot of the K9 Crystron players that I'm aware of, at least. And I'll get into that a little bit. 2 Nib. This is kind of like a rogue check, as well as just like any matchups that kind of feel where they're playing heavy into the Nib itself. Came up like twice during the tournament. It was good. It did its job. And this is something I selectively side in, just depending on what I'm up against, really. It's just one of those things where certain decks just have a hard time dealing with it. Maybe you might change it in the future. It's one of those cards where, like, I want to try something else and then I miss it. So it comes and goes a little bit. For the rest of the monsters, 2 Delta, Gamma, and then your driver. This package was great. Against Dracotail, I side these for going second, if I'm being completely honest with you. There's so many things that I can do on my turn to get bodies on the field, and I don't start off with like spells very often. I'll already have things on field, so just going second is just way better. Using this to check Dracotail spells is crazy good. I didn't really see Gamma too much, but when I did the one time, it was really good. But Delta itself carried a lot, so that was super, super nice. For spells, Call By. Obviously, I'm not maining it. It's something I want to see. Just having this against Dracotail is crazy good. Clockwork Knight, have to again, just with the yummy matchup. Setting this in and going first really just heals it up. One of the games I just hard opened it, and so I was able just to plop this even on a half board, and then that sealed up the game by itself. Then I actually do a thrust package, just the one thrust, but it goes into the talents, 2 Dark Ruler No More, a Lightning Storm, and a Duster, and then as my trap target, I did DDG. This worked out really good. This was a great inclusion last minute. This was a last minute change. I was very happy I had this. Obviously, I have the talents just to kind of go with the Call By package. But I wanted to make sure I had ways to do full board clears basically with these 4 cards. So Dark Ruler No More was fantastic. Lightning Storm was really good. Definitely going to get a lot worse just with the archetype that sets a bunch of cards now. So I might change this to like Regeki or something. Duster is also just really good. This plus like Droplet is just super strong against Dracotail. It just forces everything right then and there. Thrust was good. I saw it quite a few times, honestly, which helped. And then I did DDG to help check Dracotail. Sometimes they do just kind of have all that gas, and having this as a check is really good. I also did this against like DDD. And so I was basically half like Yummy / Yummy Mitsu and Dracotail in terms of items. My only real rogue deck was against DDD. So having this for like half of the matchups going first, just as a way to potentially check what's going on, whether it's like Femina or Malulu or whatever, was just super good. So this is like a weird spot just because we don't have D-Barrier anymore, but this was overall like a really strong setup for me with thrust and everything. It felt like a good ratio as well. I felt like I saw a good distribution of items, not too much, not too little. So it worked out really good. I'm really happy with the side overall. In terms of siding patterns, I didn't really ever side out any of the Crystron cards. K9 is very good independently, but if you don't have a way to pivot, then I felt like a lot of the time I didn't have gas. So I'd minimize like my Neroids, my Chaotic Elements, and my cases. And so then I can fit in these items, or even just whatever is appropriate here. And then from there, I'd still have a way to pivot into something else that I would actually need. So it worked out really well in that sense. Being able to kind of push a lot with K9, force out a lot of interactions, and then somehow get to Scrap Recycler and dump Smyger so you can do Crystron combo is really, really strong, because you'll have at least a pop, 2 pops if you revive a Skeletis, and then Infinity, and then potentially Drakester, depending on where things are at. So I will always want to keep that in. I played Pure prior, and so being able to keep that in the deck has been really, really good. So that's all for the side. Basically just try to maximize hand traps and such, instead of cutting into the already small part of the engine, which is the Crystron stuff. So overall, very happy with the deck. Performed very well. Very happy with my result with everything. Very happy to have my invite for Nationals. And so worked out really good. Excited for the new format. Nice change of pace going on and such. But that's basically all for the deck profile. Shout out to everybody at Locals. Shout out to the DN server. And that's it. Yeah, thank you guys.